Hey folks, it's been a while since the last time I made a video. I'm sorry for that. But honestly, I was focusing on making a photography book about La Paz. I managed to get like 35 good photos in the time I was there since October last year. So it's not enough to make a video, so I had to go back somewhere in the future. So now I'm in Cochabamba, Bolivia. Start traveling again. I'm gonna spend a week here shooting, mainly shooting, going back to color, getting used to shooting in color again. So guys, this time I'm gonna show you this lens. It's a Ttartisans 27mm, f2.8. It's like the Fujifilm one. Also Fujifilm made a pancake lens, a 27mm pancake, but Fujifilm one costs about $450, $500 as far as I know. This one costs about $150. So it's about 30% of the money, and I don't think it's a 30% of the lens, of the other lens. I think it's really good. I'm gonna use it now to shoot and share my thoughts about it, my honest thoughts. I'm not affiliated to Ttartisans. They just sent me the lens to try it out and give them my thoughts. So let's find out if it's a good lens or not. So with this lens, I'm shooting the way that I usually shoot. You know, I'm closing the aperture now, f16. I have 1,000 of a second and 800 ISO. And I'm pre-focusing mainly at between 3 to 5 meters, you know. And I think that's pretty good because I get, so the depth of field, f16, I get pretty much, you know, almost 2 meters to infinity in focus. It's no clinical focus. The clinical focus is gonna be at 3 meters. But it's good, you know, like I can just shoot and then don't worry much about focusing all the time, you know. So I focus once, pre-focus 3 meters, and then I just like frame and shoot quickly. So of course, in the distance with the subject changes, I change in my focus point, but sorry, the focus, you know, distance. Oh, this is a nice green. But I need to get the light in the green. Oh. I got something decent. So, first things about this lens. Let me check my notes. Give me a second. Overall, it's a cheap lens. It costs only $150. Depending on the place where you are and, you know, shipping costs and all that, but it's a $150 lens. I mean, if you just want to try it, you can't go wrong. It's $150. I mean, it's a lot of money for some people, but it's not like break the bank. The autofocus is pretty good. It's not perfect. It hangs a little bit, but it doesn't affect much the way I shoot. As you know, I sound focus most of the time, so I'm not really worried that the lens is not super fast. I just close the aperture, guess the distance, and so on. So it's not a big deal for me for the way I shoot. So this lens consists of 6 elements in 5 groups. I think the Fujifilm one is 7 elements and one has a spherical one. I don't know for sure if this one has a spherical element. I doubt it for the price. But the thing is, that still is a complex lens. For such a small lens, you can see, it's a very small lens, it's still having 6 elements in 5 groups. So the lens is pretty sharp, especially in the center. It's still complex enough, gets good imagery. The colors are okay, it's not perfect. I still prefer Fujifilm colors. They're a little bit warmer. This lens tends to be a little bit cold, and it's okay. I mean, The only thing I don't like is the difference between the color rendition between this lens and the Fujifilm one. So when I edit, so I need to find the, you know, the perfect tweaking for this lens. But honestly, with just one little slider, you know, maybe one curve in the blue channel, and it can fix it pretty quickly. ¿Qué tal? No, I'm not. I'm not really used to shoot with a 40, so I still figuring out the distance. I'm more used to work with a 35, 23 in Fuji. So this lens presents, you know, a little learning curve, but that's why I'm here, to show you the lens, to show you what you can do with it, and not really worrying much about the results. If I get a good photo, it's great. If you don't, it's fine too, you know. There's no pressure. It's nice to come back to color, honestly. I was shooting since mid-October. I was shooting purely in black and white, and I'm really enjoying to think in color again. That's really nice. I really love, you know, the complexity of working colors. Like, to think your color palettes. People will tell me all the time, you know, what's your preset? What's your preset? You know, I tell them, it's not a preset. Study color theory. They tell me, like, sell me please or tell me what's your, like, color profile and all that shit. And I'm like, man, it's not a preset. A preset's not gonna do the magic. You need to learn color theory. Study how the colors relate to each other. Let's say if I put purple against this green, it's gonna make this green look even, you know, more saturated. So that's a beautiful thing. So people think I add saturation to my images. Actually, no, I take away saturation. I subtract saturation, but it's still the colors pop. But the colors pop not because, you know, there's some special editing. The colors pop because there's a relationship between them. So she's wearing purple, and now she's gonna go against red, green. It's the combination of her clothing with green background that makes the whole thing looks more, you know, saturated, because complementary colors, you know, they get your attention in a stronger way. Oh, I really want to do something here with the green end. I'm pre-focused at 3 meters. Hello. So the best part of this lens, I think, is construction. Well, first it has a click aperture, just like Fujifilm lens, and it's pretty satisfying. It's not too stiff, it's perfect, you know? When I got it, it was a little bit too stiff, but now it's just about perfect. Then it's full metal, so the lens, you know, is very well built. It feels solid. The focusing ring, you know, I think it has the perfect amount of resistance. All this focus by wire is nothing like having an actual manual focus lens, but it's still good, I think. And the best part is that only weighs about 100 grams. So you just put this lens on your camera and you don't feel any weight difference, so it's perfect. It's small, you know, compact, well built. The image quality is, I mean, you're gonna see the photos. I mean, I think the image quality is great. So there's nothing, you know, to dream about this lens. It's just perfect, you know. So when Ttartisans reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to review the lens, I was like, I was a little bit hesitant because I'm not a gear reviewer, I think. I just take photos, you know, and make some videos to share some photography techniques and so on. But I told them, you know, yeah, okay, I can do it, but in my terms, you know, it's just like a simple walk, POV style video, where the main thing is imagery beyond, you know, the gear stuff. You know, I'm not gonna take photos of a brick wall and check if the pair sharpness is perfect across the frame. If I could get a good image with it, for me, that's enough, you know. So, and I think it can do it. Look at these colors. And so the woman is wearing their blue with the orange, you know, it's kind of complementary. All this is analogous, you know. and I can play with this. Well, I wish there was someone casting a shadow in the green and the yellow, but you will see, you know. Ah, this is perfect. Yeah, look at, continue with the complementary, you know. But if I add blue, it gets totally different. So I have two complementary, a little hint of blue here, analogous now. So yeah. Now, it was analogous to that. So they're closer on the color wheel. Oh, this is so cool, man. This is so cool. This is perfect playground, you know, to study color theory and just, it's so good. So the cons of this lens are not that heavy, but somewhat annoying every now and then. So the lens flares quite a lot, especially at 2.8 or f4. Enough to be noticeable, but it just looks like an old legacy lens, you know, like a lens from the 70s, 80s, when the lens were single-coated and not multi-coated. People look at me because I'm talking like, probably they think, oh, this guy is probably crazy. So yeah, flare is a bad thing. Also the lens vignettes quite a lot. The f2.8, f4, the vignette is dramatic, but with some little editing, you know, you can... vignettes quite a lot. And the vignette is gone just around f8. But as I shoot most of the time, it's f16 or f11, honestly, I don't feel it's such a drawback. And anyway, when I'm shooting, you know, later at night, 2.8 looks just fine. I did a portrait session of a good friend of mine, shooting most of the time f2.8, f4, and the lens performed pretty well for a portrait session. And it's got a little bit of chromatic aberration, like in the very edges, you know. And I noticed yesterday I got some shots, so there was a tree and I saw a little bit of purple, but that could be, you know, fix and post pretty easily. This is nice. And I'm waiting for the transaction to be done between the women. Oh, but I don't want more people in the frame. Ah, my bad. You know, the bad timing. Oh, these colors. Oh, it's getting cloudier. I know it's just a small cloud. So, those are with the drawbacks, you know. Vignetting, a little bit of chromatic aberration, not super bad, just a tiny little bit. And then the flare in low open apertures. But then it's fine. It's totally fine. Also, it's got some like a different color rendering than Fujifilm. It tends to be a little bit more on the cold side, which is not bad either. It depends on what you prefer. I have two people wearing red in a green kind of canvas. So if I had one person more wearing red, you know, the color rhythm could go from one side to the other side of the frame. But there's a little bit of like overlapping. Oh, this is good. This is good. That was good. That was good. You know, I got three people wearing red. You know, so you can also do those kind of things with the color. You know, like to give rhythm to a photo. So that was a great sample. You know, using color to give rhythm to a photo. So basically now when you see, I hope, you know, your eyes can jump from one side of or the other side of the frame. You know, you can go all throughout the frame just by looking at the photo, by following the colors. So remember that colors pop, not because of some magic editing, some magic, you know, preset. Colors pop because of the combinations between them, the relationships may then look pop, or maybe, you know, look more chill. In sort of way, so speaking, you know. I like this purple. So blue, red, yellow. triadic color combination, you know. But I try to get rid of the green. So yeah, you can always, you know, combine the colors, but also then you need to see what's the right amount of the relationship, the amount of every color. So you usually in cinema, you see that you never have all the colors in the same amount. There's always a dominant, then a complementary, and then there is a third color that is usually an accent. So there is a, like, let's say 40% of one color, or let's say, no, 60% of one, 30% of another one, and then a 10% of another one, an accent color. So 60% of like a dominant, then like 30% of a secondary color, like that's complementing the main one, and then just a one that is an accent, you know, just a tiny little bit. And if you can get that in a photo, because people who's making film, movies, you know, they have a lot of time to take care to find the right combination. So they have a lot of time to take care of, you know, of the color palette of a scene, but on the fly, you know, trying to find a good moment, combine with a good background, you know, a good subject separation that you don't have, you know, a lot of people overlapping, and also the colors, you know, it's super hard. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was like a more simple one. I just wanted to start, you know, creating again content, and yeah, I think a little review, I guess, of this lens could work pretty well to start, you know, this process of creating content. I don't like that word though. Anyway, so thanks a million again. Please, if you like this content, click the subscribe button, share with your friends. Also like, comment, subscribe. Thanks a million, because this has been an amazing journey. I've enjoyed it so far, to teach photography all over the world, and it's all thanks to you guys, you know, so thanks a million. So, cheers.